Ugh, almost. Almost in time. Isn't it? Pleasant indeed. Pleasant indeed. Shit everywhere. Where is it? Where's the other one? Why are you hiding? There you are. Don't hide from me. It's not a nice thing. Now, everything is loading as per usual, which means I can thoroughly, for some odd reason assume that things are working, which means I can say hello, people, and assume that we're actually going to get shit done. Well, as soon as everything's loaded, that is. It's just going to take a moment, but, well, you know, a moment at a time indeed. Let's put the usual information in, so I don't have to do this later on, because I'm, of course, very much liking to have everything prepared and ready and good and proper. And okay, that was a bit strange. Don't do this game, because now you're going to... Yes. Now your audio is going to run to that audio. Yeah, we can change things around. Now game you can play audio. See? Better. Well then, let me... Well, re-acquaint you with the story so far. We have been chasing a giant, the naked giant. We have been stranded a bit on this island. We have finally managed to get our ship back again. And we already learned that there are bigger fish to fry out there. As in really bigger fish, as in bigger ships. Now we have a little sloop, which is nice and dandy, but in the long run we should probably look for something a bit more, you know, brutal. To put it very, very, very mildly. I do like the fact that I can change around the colors and stuff. I don't think it's going to have much of an effect though. Now, as you can see, the map is still huge and we have so far only really explored a very small part of it. The good thing is the game actually remembers to tell me, you know, where stuff is. Now, we do know that there is, you know, stuff around. There are merchants around, of course, which is something we should all ignore. They're just honest merchants doing their honest little work. And there are quests on these islands. Most of these which are left are quite deadly. Now, as we know, there's a lot to do. We will not do everything at once. We have all the time in the world to do so. So, you know, quiet and relaxed. We shall go forward. For the moment, the first goal we are going to achieve, main story-wise, is to go to Fort Ditlight and let's see if we can't beat up a certain pirate who has been a bit of a bitch to us in the past. This one, to be very much fair. And since this seems to be basically the main storyline we are supposed to follow, we will do this, of course, as usual, quite last. Also, you know, since all of the other quests look like they have deadly difficulties back, we shall not indulge them very much so. So, time to go and find out if those pirates really are as much free loot as I hope they will be. Chaining with my little sheep. Also, my first main goal shall be to get my hands... That's not good. On actually something that is, you know... a bigger ship, basically. Well, but before that, let's sail through another storm. So we can get some XP from my crew. It's such a cheaty way to get XP. Clouds get on the distance. Again, a hazy curtain of rain hanging from them. Ikruk sighs the storm's by. I wish the ship had a boatswain. It's no better left with you in a storm. Well then, gas company inside. The Ikruk could use a sermon. Should he tell them that they were gonna die? Yes, sure. Yes. Amen, indeed. Said, Biddle, take the line and lash yourself to the wheel. I don't want you going overboard. And hand out the last of the cooked food. And deckhands. Well, everyone, into the rigging. We need to reef the sails. And I think that's all we can do, yeah. As prepared as we're gonna be. Go for gold. Give us all of this nice XP boosts we can get from sailing through storms. Because my sailors learn stuff by doing that. Shield Sister, Dahlia, make them make them whole again, basically. Use some medicine, that's why we have it. Special moves among the crew, providing relief to the afflicted. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Stormbridge is on. Do it again, if you have to. We have medicine on Mars. The wind comes, but rain pours from the skies after the find had come to rest beneath a waterfall. Rainwater sloshes across the deck and under the rails. All hands to the post. We're holding. Nice, we have success. And we have earned XP. 600 for the crew and 1 sailor experience. And Wanizi gained a rank. I don't even know who Wanizi is. Who are you, Wanizi? Ah, an expert cannoneer you are now. That's good. I do try to get everyone's ranks up a bit, so we have some, you know, good people. I mean, he's basically a level 3 deckhand. Everybody else kinda has to learn their way around that. But yes, I'm once again looking very much forward to doing some horrible things to my enemy. I see an island full of very bad things. Actually, yeah, could you guys not? Is it always the same, you know? It's always the same. Once the time comes when I actually want to sit back and, you know, play some games and relax for once, that's when people decide that, you know, that we have wasted a whole day just sitting around and basically, you know, furiously playing with our own feet or something, because we're that bored. Now is a good time to, you know, annoy the person who actually has done all of the hard work. Which I do not, you know, approve of at fucking all. Now, we need to be a bit careful. There is a ship around here, and we don't want to run into it. I'll live through the wreckage. Shift through the wreckage. Yeah, good. Now then, there it is. Port Deadlight. Let's see if we can get to it without getting murdered. Through the distant haze of sea mist and rocky shadows, Port Deadlight rises over the horizon. Approaching a pirate stronghold is a risky venture, even for the most skilled of mariners. Any ship not flying a Principe flag that's sighted in its shallows may be raided. But its iron scout, cap, them guns be even bigger than I remember. Aaron looks up at the fortress from the deck, then hails through his teeth. I can be vouchsafing you with the guards if you can be getting us to dock without being blasted to bits thrice over. Otherwise, I may recommend the sneakiest approach you got. Assault for Deadlight. Okay, I saved the game, why not? Assault. Load and run out the port guns. Stand by. Ready to fire. Crewmen scuttling about, you hoist sail and make fast for Deadlight. And for battle. Deck bounces beneath your feet as you cut across the water at record speed, hurtling straight for the fortress guarded port. An alarm blares from within the fort. Seconds later, cannons explode the water around you. A near miss. We don't stop, and neither does the volley of fire. The fort's outfitted with at least 30 cannons, from what you can see. Add on assault is starting to look suicidal. You might just make it if you careen full speed into the port's dock. Ram full speed into the port's docks. The port fires another heavy barrage. Splintered wood explodes from the impact, but your able helmsman manages to steer Defiant away from a full hit. Smoke clouds the air, where you've sailed through it, that much closer to the docks. Stay your course. Cannon fire lights up at the fort. A coming rain of hot iron and death. You speed closer, hoping to pass their range. Impact. Several such punch through gaping holes. Ouch. Destroy a deck in a destructive onslaught. We're pretty much dead already. The next round punches through the Defiant's deck. Several of your crew members. Youch. Screams and smoke rise on the air. The deck splinters apart like a cracked open ribcage, sleek with blood and seawater. Your crew wailing in the background, you go down with your ship. Blub, 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 blub. To be fair, it wasn't really a good plan. Admittedly. We kind of thought. I mean, if I had a bigger ship that could take more punishment, maybe we could approach like this. But if you have like 50 hit points, then yeah, this is not going to work. Means we need to be a lot more sneaky. Row to the shores on a skiff under the cover of night. Waves snap at the side of your skiff. The only sounds, aside from the occasional grunt of exertion, is you still fitly row to the island's shore, under the shroud of darkness. You store your skiff in the shadow of a towering wall, creep forward in search of a way into the fort. Well, that's a lot more unspectacular than the other one. I don't hear any cannons firing, I don't see any ships getting exploded along the way. Kinda boring, honestly. Disappointing game. Very disappointing. You should have let me... Well, I mean, it did let me go in and die, to be fair. I'm like, yes, this is totally fine. Oh yeah, right, I kind of forgot that we now have that little... I mean, he is an all-in, I guess, which is nice. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that came out of nowhere. My nose. It's still kind of itchy. And my nose is like, no, I'm not going to calm down. You have summoned me.
Like before, never had call. Be keeping a weather eye peeled for a way up.
Yeah. Let me see when I'm looking at this nonsense. And just for that, why do people feel the need to affirm something I said? Like, okay, you make a statement like, the sun is bright. That's a statement. Pretty undeniable one, honestly. Would people then feel the need to go like, yes? It wasn't a question, I wasn't really asking. I was making a statement, and all I wished for was that you would accept it and deal with it. Oh, my people have leveled up actually, that's kinda cute. I think I was giving you, yes, intimate and history, if memory serves. As well as athletics, doesn't it? Glorious beacon, bathe yourself in holy light, blinding enemies in the immediate area. Already have. Recognize Flame of Devotion. But I have Eternal Devotion. Brand enemy. Marks an enemy as the focus of concentration. Sharing only damage bonus against the target. Until combat ends, the target goes down. The brand last enemy will take burn damage over time. That's kinda cute. So if the rival is defeated, the zero cost is refunded. No, actually, let's brand the enemy in let him burn. Or is there anything else I want? Gain concentration at the start of each combat. That's kinda cute. Snake's reflexes, Bear's fortitude. I think passive abilities like this, I do like to play with more passive abilities, honestly. But this is basically enhancing one ability I already have, so you know, it would be kinda idiotic to not actually make full use of that. That's how my idea goes, at least. Now, everybody level up, level up. Now you get explosions, and in your case we had streetwise and survival. So basically I want to get to, you know, the same, then just change back and forth. The idea is he's survival streetwise. That's Jyoti will have religion and something else. I think diplomacy. I have intimidate and history and metaphysics and insight. The next, I think one we can probably leave out. Like, I don't need all of the speech abilities. I don't think. Well. The first from the training, getting aware, inspiration. Mule kick, I already have that because it sounds funny, basically. Into the fray. Better strikes the target with devastating force, gaining significant additional penetration. Basically, his peen gets a lot bigger and a lot harder, and he's like, yes, boom. Hold the line, one engagement. That's probably a good idea for my main tank, honestly. Yeah, actually, I think this is probably a good idea. Hold the line. Now then you have religion and diplomacy. Okay, so religion and diplomacy was it. Which leaves metaphysic, insight, and bluff. Let's ignore bluff, then we end up with metaphysics and insight, basically. You should learn a bit about alchemy. And you too have one ability to your name. Prayer for the Spirit, Grounds Target, LID, Smart Inspiration, Warding Seal, Divine Mark, Mark Side for Retribution, inflicting burn damage and lowering deflection. That's kinda cute. As long as in Circle of Healing. Yeah, you already have that. Strengthen us in battle, granting them over inspiration. Let's take a few damage spells too along the way. So the little shoot we actually can do stuff for us in combat. Oh right, I kinda forgot about you, Elaf. We had picked you up, didn't we? Oh yeah, you're gonna get the Arcana. And I think Stealth we are going to not use that much of, but I think in the case of, you know, little Orlan guy, he's probably going to go Mechanics and Stealth. Sleight of Hand. Yeah, maybe, but yeah, doesn't really give much. So we have somebody for metaphysics. Okay, let's get metaphysics to 5, and then I guess insight would be good for him. I think. Now then, spells. Can we get some extra spell slots? No, you just basically gain the same things. It is in his grimoire, not the fireball. That's bad, I suppose. I mean, it has some nice spells. I'll give it that much. Actually, how does this work? Great, it becomes a living narrator, and it streaks out in a straight line, bounces off of walls, harming anything caught on its path. Which sounds like it's going to be a pain in the ass to control, honestly. I mean, like, quite literally. But sure, I'll give you that. You're totally not going to regret that choice. Of course not. No, then as for you, insight and bluff it shall be. Stealth mechanics. You will need to learn a lot more about mechanics, my friend. Let's see. Soul Whip. So we can enhance your Soul Whip to a Biting Whip or a Draining Whip. Enhance the draining properties. Have a Soul Whip, regenerate more quickly. Biting Whips have a Soul Whip bites deeper, granting a bonus to damage. Nice. Okay, he already has the 2. I think that's actually your first level up, isn't it? Secret Horrors. Causes enemies in the area of effect to believe their worst fears have been realized. Frightening. We have the Soul Ignition, which is nice, because it's a nice spell. Now each of us around them, focusing attacks to experience a portion of all damage daily suffers. Fractured volition. Puppet Master. Let's say defense, leaving them dominated by the cipher-footed rotation. Which sounds nice. Psychic Backlash invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning enemy whenever they target the Cypher's will defense. The Cypher is able to use the echoes of time to drive home strikes from the weapons, increasing their penetration. And he already has the combat focus. Okay, for the moment, I would say draining whip sounds a lot useful. And I will assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we can get one more companion amongst.
Yeah.
Way. Oh, save game, sneak up and see what happens. Rising like a tidal wave above the ocean, a white stone wall stretches into the sky. Halfway between Deadlight's battlements and the rocky cove at its base, an arched window opens into the salty air. Inspect the wall. Jagged stones jut from the wall, often and at irregular intervals. Half crumbled, they look sharp but sturdy and may be able to hold a person's weight. The window is high, but it still is solid, carved right into the wall. With a strong enough toss, a grappling hook could grab onto the ledge. Climb to the open window. As you climb, some of the rocky handholds crumble within your grip, but others hold firm, permitting you first 1 foot and then another higher, closer toward the waiting window above. As you climb, you scale ahead of the others, setting both the path and the pace. When your hand or foot holds crumble, the others adjust, floating around to rejoin behind you. By the time you reach the open window, everyone is sweating, but grinning, triumphant. We have made it. We have made it. Nothing could have stopped us, apart from the loading screen, of course, which takes a while. I'm assuming this is the window we came from.
Why not?
My fingers be fat and furry, but they're ever so nimble. Easy breezy, wet hands.
That doesn't make much sense. If your thingies are fat and furry, then how the fuck do they do nimble work? I will assume that going in there and waking the guard dogs is probably the definition of a bad idea.
My eyes are peeled.
Well, sneak mode still works. Then let's make a save and see what happens when I push the button. Okay, nothing.
Sure.
Voices echo from below. I see a big ship. This could be my ship.
Ahoy, Captain. I've got to come clean about something.
Hmm.
And that'll be as good a time as not.
Yeah. It's like, okay, let me point this out. We just snuck into a fucking pirate fortress, okay? He's like, you know what, now is the time for having a long, nice conversation about something I've been keeping to myself. What is it?
Much as I hate Benwith, the main reason I signed up with you were to get here. To get a chance to look for a man named Romaro.
Skulldutchery, yeah. Shooty doesn't like it. Oh, okay, so who is Romaro?
That'd be a longer story than we've got time for. Quick of it be that Romaro's in trouble. The Principe have sent a ship hunter after him, and I've got an evening and a half to find him first.
Yeah, but why the fuck do we... You could have just told me that on the fucking ship while we were sitting around and basically doing nothing. But no, he decides to do this just when we snuck to the fucking pirate fortress.
I didn't see his ship, so probably not. But mayhaps we could keep a weather eye open for clues to his whereabouts.
So, why didn't you tell me about this beforehand? Ron's hand falls. He scratches the scar on the side of his nose.
Apologies, Captain, for not being more forthcoming. Romaro be like family to me, and I didn't know you from a bilge pump. Actually, I've known a bilge pump or two.
I was about to say, you're a fucking ship... a sailor, a fucking seaman. You should know what a fucking bilge pump would do, at least. Okay, let's look out for clues. Sure, we needed to talk about this just here and now. And not at some other, more better time. Sign reads storage. Storage sounds good. Do you know why that sounds good? Because it sounds like loot. And
I don't be supposing we Ben be behind me. Stores, no doubt about it.
I like loot. Don't know about you, but I like loot. The sign reads gunpowders. From a hole in the stone wall, a chain mechanism matches to the lock of the gate. I see. So I'm supposing that that thing is locked and this is the unlock mechanism then. Can't really open this. Okay, so we can't go just straight up in. Well, I guess we're gonna go down there and see if we can, you know, bluff our way through this. I'm assuming horrible things. I'm assuming combat will ensue shortly. Which, you know, as long as we can actually take a bit of an advantage, shouldn't be a problem, honestly. Advantages in, you know, look for small spaces where the enemy can't use their numbers. Doesn't work so well if they actually have, you know, rifles, arquebuses and stuff, and can form a line and then shoot at you. That's horrible. Because the bodies of our own companions will be in the way.
Before I go introducing you to Siri, I should mention something.
And another thing. Go on.
I might have said things to Siri when I last dropped anchor at Deadlight.
Yeah.
Just lovers' word savvy. But I can't say I rightly lived up to them. I ain't saying there's a problem, just a possible wrinkle in the old charts.
I regret my choices. Why have I brought you along? So, she'll be upset.
All I'm saying is, you see her go for a pistol, you best step away from me.
Believe you me, the moment she, you know, for a pistol, we will just bum rush her basically and step her with, you know, pointy things. That's what we have all of those nice middle bits for, you know. To the balcony. Okay. Let's carefully move forward and see what happens. Here we have some random people. More random people.
Production's too slow. At this rate, we'll never get out of here. Not till LDs comes back. Hey, scamper off you. We ain't taking orders.
Wasn't about to give you one. You don't look like the most skilled blacksmith anyway.
Plus, if your armor's dented, you'd be better served throwing it against some rocks. For the record, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, why are you in the fucking forge then? Yeah, why are you manning the forge if you're not trained? Maybe, you know, question.
Me and Brutal Ben had a bit of a disagreement. He tossed most of my crew into the brig. Myself and my first mate got the mercy of serving an extended stint in this forge.
Yeah, but that is really a dumb idea. It's not going to produce anything, not even a fucking repaired armor if you have someone in there who has no idea what they're doing.
If you were one of us, you'd have heard that by now. Gossip flows like water through these parts. Tell me then, stranger, who are you?
Well, guess we're going to start with, you know, the obvious. I'm a watcher from the Dire Watch.
I know you. Benwith attacked your ship right in the eye of a typhoon. He's been crowing about it enough since.
Believe so, yes, and he's going to regret his life choices very much once I find him. Mostly because, you know, metal bits through his lungs. Makes it a lot hard to, you know, him crowing around.
Black Seas, but I hate Benwith.
So what's the problem between you and
Me
Benwith?
and Benny were real good mates in the Navy. But then he went and got too big for his britches, playing second fiddle to Aldi's. I might have had too much to drink one night. That might have led to things being said and done I now regret.
You called him some, you know, test muncher or something? Hit to his face?
One of these days, he's gonna rue that brutal streak of his.
So, you're planning to get back at him?
The thought has crossed my mind, but it ain't just me I've got to worry about. Ben's like my crew in the brig. I can't risk lashing out until I know they're safe.
Well, that's actually a very honorable thing for a pirate, mind
If you
you.
were to free them without creating much fuss, I could show you a secret route into Captain Aldi's quarters, where Benwith's staying.
That I find rather pleasing. And then spits into his palm and rubs his fingers together, forming a soothing past. Why would you... Why would you do this? I don't even... Okay, first things first. I never was a fan of people just now, just spitting on the street already. In this case, like, I'm going to spit in my hand now, going to play with the bubbles, I guess. So, you're sure your crew is still alive?
He better fucking be. No matter how pissed he is with a single captain, killing an entire crew would rub Aldi's the wrong way. And he doesn't want to be on our bad side.
You really have a lot of respect for that Elise person.
Ben's locked him in the brig, down in the dungeons. Bail him out without making a bloody mess of it, or it'll be my throat that gets slit.
That's not really my speciality, mind you.
I don't know if these are any good, seeing as I forged them, but here's a few lockpicks to help you out. If that fails, the keys ought to be on the jailer or by her post, a room between the brig and the dog kennels.
Where in the dungeons is the brig?
The brig's got our best cells, you know. That's where we keep the ransom prisoners, the ones who ain't supposed to die.
Yes, of course.
Finding them ain't hard. First, take these stairs in the back down to the dungeons, then cross the bridge to the storage room, then head south. You'll find the brig cells on the southeast side.
I'm pretty sure we can't do this because we can't get through that door,
Keep
can't
an
we?
eye out for guards. The dungeons are barred to all but Benwith's crew currently. You can use this to cut through the storage room. Just don't let anyone find out I gave it to you.
So that's the key we need for that. I see. Farewell, because I'm not a fucking pirate. I'm not going to start with some pirate lingo nonsense. Stealing stuff. Draws blood from the other side. Okay, for the deadlight. If I go outside, what's actually going to happen? Are people going to get suspicious of me? I'm pretty sure they will be, because if there's no ship docked that is new, and you still see new faces around, someone is going to, you know, put one and one together and be like, what do we have here? An unwifty crack-hearted? Okay, for a moment I was like, hey, you're a crack addict, right? When the black hells are you clumping around so loud? How bad? You're not allowed to have here. You no good fellas. Got a problem with drunks?
Got no patience for them, the bilge lickers. It's rot enough I'm posted next to the forge, having to listen to that hammer striking non-stop all day long.
Yeah, that's not even producing anything.
Add on those howling guzzlers at the bottom of the stairs, and you get the picture. Enough gabbling. The ramparts are off limits to anyone but Benweth's crew. Run off, or I'll run you through.
Well, no need to get testy.
No, I'd best escort you back.
Shit.
Follow me if you want to keep living. Try to sneak past if you want to die.
Okay, if we do this, we are pretty much screwed ourselves out of the...
Too many terms, and I reckon one of them's gonna sound the alarm.
Yeah. But this screws me out of that option. I kinda would like to first open up all my potential ways. So let's not just go out there. The lady's a bit tense. I mean, that's kind of understandable. I get where she's coming from. I would probably be rather tense too, having to do a job like that. I mean, guard duty is by and large easy, but boring. Especially if you're posted in a position that is really, really annoying, you know. In this case, it's just sound-wise. Luckily enough. Could be a lot worse.
I don't be supposing we could, easy breezy, wet hands.
Shut up. You're not supposed to be talking that much, you little Orlin. I miss my old Orlin. He was a lot better than you. He also was a druid, which made things a lot more fun, mind you. He shall be missed, very dearly. I mean, you know, this new sci-fi also. I kinda preferred Grieving Mother. She was a lot more grieving. There's such a lot more silent about things. Okay, we do know where the dog kennel is, and we should probably avoid this, because dogs trained to attack strangers have a tendency to do precisely just that. So, you know, we would probably kind of be well off not getting involved in that.
Deadlight's power to be north of here. The brig be to the south.
Yeah, apparently we have so many repair supplies we can't pick up anymore. Gunpowders.
How's it right there, lovesome? If you ain't one of Benweth's own, you can't be back here.
Benweth, you mean the captain of the Drake?
Aye, and it shouldn't surprise you. Aldi set sail 2 nights ago. Means Benweth's running a deadlight tip-top in her stead.
That's
What he
so.
says goes, and what he likes, he gets to do, including the right to lock down parts of the fortress.
That's actually a lot of responsibility for someone like that. She licks the flat of her thumb, and she rubs it over the etched silver of her gun barrel. Spit shiny the metal, to draw attention to the muzzle pointed at your face. Yeah, I was kinda aware that you were a guard. You don't need to hammer it home.
If you're thinking to get mutinous, don't. You know they call him Brutal Ben for a reason. He ain't shy about tossing mutineers into the stocks for the crows to pick off their skin.
Sure, yeah.
You also know I'll be showing you out. This way.
Okay, many an annoying person. I see. Okay, oh no, she's going to... Oh no, oh no. Yeah, she's going to throw me all the way out. That's not. Actually, which is the quick reload button? Okay, that one. Why do they all feel the need to change those buttons around? Now then, we now know 2 areas we are not supposed to be in.
Deadlight's power to be north of here. The brig.
So, now we need to kind of sneak around here and avoid being spotted, I suppose. At least, you know, let's not get spotted overly much, basically. We're supposed to do this quietly. This is what we in the business like to call a shortcut. A hidden shortcut even, but a shortcut nonetheless. No, this leads to the door, which basically means nothing, which means we are on the right track down here.
Brig be just past here, Cap. Hope you got your headset straight about this. What for, Kai?
Okay, you're the only one probably who can sneak around.
Yeah?
We will make it like this. This is a very risky
What
move.
for, Cap? One of my eyes be open.
I'm pretty sure this means you're sneaky.
Aye, aye.
Snaky. I'm very much snaky. I don't see shit.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up. Easy breezy, wet and sleazy.
Easy peasy indeed. We have done it. And we're stealing some stuff from them. Sneak, 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 sneak. Well, Romino, are you the guy I'm supposed to be freeing?
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
Yeah. A dirty, naked man presses the length of his body up against the bars.
Hello, Swabby.
Yeah, you too, Swabby.
You ain't one of Benny's. What are you doing here?
Well, Lemon sent me to free you.
Knew we could count on our captain. Always looking out for us, he is.
Mostly because, you know, you can't really sail a ship, you know, without crew.
Let us free, and we and our captain will owe you a favor. So, what do you say?
Where would I find the key?
The jailer does her rounds from time to time, but getting the ring off her person might be challenging, without alerting the other guards, that is. I'd wager she keeps a spare set at her post.
Nice.
Down the hall, southeastern end of the dungeons. Watch out for guards on a stroll about.
So why is Ben punishing Leonard?
Benny's the top of the top. Second only to Aldi's in these parts. He's unbeatable, some say. Too much of a brute for his own good, I think. Lamond knew him back in the Deerwooden Navy.
Oh, a Navy
before he
man,
grew
yeah,
into
yes.
his britches. And that chafes Benwith. One night, our captain breaks a bottle against Benwith's first mate. Now we are rotting in here, while Lamond works the forge like peeling potatoes.
Yeah, but everybody can peel potatoes. Not everyone can actually work in a forge. It requires some expertise. Which means it is an absolute waste of time and resources. Now then. Let's be a sneaky little cunt about it. And then we'll bear it all. Can I sneak through here? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Shit. I can't. I tried my bestest, I realized I can't. Shit. Well, I guess for once we have a sneak mission.
Captain.
Did I just...
Aye.
Okay, I already have the key, right. Sneak, sneak, sneak around. You don't see shit. So I'm not here. I'm sneaky.
Keep it quiet and follow me, mates.
Blow the man down. That sounds so horribly wrong. Why do game need to do this?
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap.
Shit. Sneak, sneak, sneak around. Carefully. Little pirate guard. You don't see shit, of course. There's nothing here, and these are not the droids you're looking for. Dumb. Go away. Chip, chip, chip. Just stand it like an idiot. Well then, we did what we're supposed to be doing.
Ahoy, done and done.
And I would have liked to get my hand on a bit more of the loot things, but I guess I can't do everything. Wasn't there a guard dog behind this door?
This area's close to anyone who ain't one of Captain Ben bloody into.
Okay, let's not. I'm actually trying, you know, relatively hard to not get myself into a troublesome situation like that. Game doesn't make it easy though. I guess it's not supposed to be easy, to be fair. We are, after all, kinda, you know, sneaking inside with ill intent. I pretty much have every right to stop us. Well, you know, their right ends where my sword begins, basically, but still. We shall endeavor to be silent.
Here's the one that saved us.
Be that you? Still alive and kicking, I see.
Yeah, what were you expecting?
You've done right by me, freeing my crew. So I'll divvy up what I promised.
You're gonna open the very obvious secret passageway, yes?
Door's open, but there's something you ought to consider before you go. Sure, you could traipse right up there into Aldi's quarters to gut Ben with, but he'll be heavily guarded.
Okay.
Meanwhile, me and my crew will be stealing Ben's ship, the Drake, and in doing it, we're gonna bait him into storming outside all alone.
Stealing a pirate's ship, you really want to hit him where it hurts.
No better way for it. Benny docks the Drake in a hidden berth beneath the fort. Kill the guards there for us. Aye, that's why I want your help. After you've cleared the docks, take the western tower to the fort's ramparts and sound the boating bell. 3 rings. Me and my mates will sail out with the Drake. 3 bell tolls alerts the fort to a ship leaving the private docks. With Aldi's gone to sea, that leaves just Ben's Drake docked. Ben's sure to storm the ramparts in a rage, right in time to watch his pride be stolen.
Killing certain guards to avoid fighting other guards. Sounds inefficient. Actually, no, it sounds very efficient because it means we don't have to fight every last bloody guard he can muster.
Knew I could count on you.
Sounded like a good plan, my man.
I can't wait until Ben gets his.
So, you cite the private docks were beneath the
Aye,
fort.
under the dungeons, there's a cave with a wharf. The quickest route's just ahead. Beyond that door, entrance to the docks is nearest the kitchens. Some of Benny's crew are sure to be guarding the drake, so you'll need to gut them if I'm to steal his ship.
Honestly, don't give much shit about his guards. They've proven to be assholes anyway. So the
It's
second one is...
3 loud rings from the boating bell. That alerts the fort to a ship leaving the private docks. With Eldie's gone to see that just there's stairs that lead.
Okay then. Up and away we go. And finding out how this is going to work out. But first, some stealing is in order.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up. Swapped and spun.
I mean, you know, I want what's inside. If you blow it up, it's probably going to end horrible for me. Okay, save game to command. Let's see. We need to be really careful about this. Really, really careful. Oh, stuff. There's another pirate guard. That's locked.
Fingers be fat and furry.
Okay, can't move around here without, you know, dragging very much unwanted attention. I need to be a bit planning about this.
Sure.
Outside, a cold and unforgiving sea crashes against the rocky shoreline. Well, that looks like the kitchen.
My fingers be we got here. I do believe I recognise these goddamn chests.
Do you know?
Andre's salty bosom. Romaro hauled this chest from one end of the deadfire to the other.
So, any clues in there? He flips open the lid to reveal an empty chest. Seraphan doesn't seem disappointed, however. Reaches into the chest and gropes about before being rewarded by a clicking sound. A false bottom slides out from the chest, containing a single folded piece of parchment. Seraphan swipes it out and holds it to his nose, inhaling deeply. Ah, yes, the scent of musty pirate notes. What does it say? And folds the letter, his large yellow eyes flowing over it. He clears his throat and begins to read.
Dear S. That be me.
Hmm.
I knew you'd seek me out.
Mm-hmm.
Please abandon the trail here. I've fashioned this predicament for my own, and I not have you lock its weight round your own ankles.
Oh, apparently that's the end of our questline then, isn't it?
If you find yourself imperiled, seek Udina at Magic Water. She can help.
Tyron falls silent, staring at the page for a while longer. You hear his breath catch. He looks up, her expression carefully black. What is Magic Waters?
I don't know Udina from Warp Mage, but Magic Waters, I know like my own fucking name. When I were a wee lad fresh on the Sorcerer, Romaro would treat me to the luminous bathhouse at Nekitaka.
He grins as he gently closes Romo's chest, a hint lingering upon the polished wood.
The water there shimmered like dawn on the open sea, and I, full flush with the poetic creativity of youth, called it Magic Waters.
At least we have something in common, because my creativity also doesn't unleash much of a flurry of creation.
I know you don't owe me the favour, Captain, but if we could find our way to that bathhouse, I'd not hold it against you. Unless, and of course, you asked. For now,
Sure.
though, we've got plunder and pillage before us, aye?
Yeah, I was actually about to do this until you decided to be, you know,
We could, easy breezy, wet and sleazy.
a bitch about it, basically.
It's mine now.
Nice. We found something hidden. Actually, something nice and hidden. As usual, I don't know anything. I'm just going to murder things now. To the kitchen. Dum dum dum. So somewhere near the kitchen is going to be the way toward the secret wharf. It's Cookie Manor. Apparently. Oh, will you look at that? Nice. Look at where we found ourselves.
Captain.
Safe game.
A light's fly.
Choop, choop, choop. Let's actually sneak up here and see what's up here. Don't. I mean, we could totally explode all of this and, you know, shit. Oh, shit.
My fingers be fat.
Okay, he gets really pissed off apparently, really quickly. Kinda wanna murder all of them now, they're really getting annoying. The other side of the argument though, you know. You have anything to say? A portly woman startles at your approach. As she downswings her meat cleaver, she nearly catches her fingers. Okay, it's not good. Glowering, she more carefully resumes sacking at what looks to be a slab of ribs.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
Just being hungry, that's occasion.
Only Benwith's crew has access to my kitchens. Not that I care, really.
Then why even mentioning every woman?
Speak up so I can hear you.
I'm looking for Captain Benwith.
You won't find him in the kitchens, ever. He's high and mighty, gold bricking in Captain Aldi's quarters now.
Ooh.
These stairs go back to the court. It's the tower adjacent to this one that leads to Aldi's quarters.
She points out the stairs and back of the kitchen with a slice of her cleaver through the air. So we don't care that I'm trespassing.
Think I want to tattle on you? What do I care if you're looking to hang yourself? Sneak
Good
around
point.
enough where you ain't supposed to, Benwith will catch you. Carve you into chunks for my stew.
Well, I guess you can't be a picky eater around here. To be fair. The argument. Not in. To the underground docks, murdering people, then to go up and ring the bell. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Now I do wonder where that certain up actually is. Do we have to go through the court? Damn it. I don't have any space for cannonballs anymore. We are full!
Keep at it. Benwith wants her ship shape. Less than a fortnight.
There's some.
That's not going to work because we don't have that.
This end here!
Everything hurt.
Oswald's checked out. Lava will be on sea. Arctic worth and rough.
That's not very helpful.
Why is that not very helpful?
That's it.
After him.
Lava will be on.
Murder them all. Well, you managed to fuck that up, don't you? We smell full in the darkness.
Worth and rough.
That's not nearly as efficient as I would have liked.
Lava will be on sea.
That's very helpful.
Flanked, disorientated, I'm dead now. Well, my little cipher, Zerifan, is useful. Until he meets anything that gets close to him, then he dies like a bitch. Understood, game. I understand now how things are. Okay, to the western rampart. So that's where we are going to go up to sound the alarm, I suppose. This is the Drake, isn't it? Well, it's going to be one ship less that's going to annoy the living shit out of me. The gaping wound. Okay. Let's make a safe game in case things go wrong. They have a tendency to go wrong sometimes, you know? It happens. Let's not take any unnecessary risk here. Found our way back. It's all coming back to me. We're moving in circles now, aren't we? Jump, jump, jump. I don't know. I do like Pillars of Eternity 2.
This is going to be loud, isn't it?
It is. But you know, the whole massive usage of pirate slang is fucking pissing me off, honestly. It's like, you know, when... At one time, you know, when I actually played... What was it? GTA 5, wasn't it? And we played as that... the black one, the main characters. And people started talking like, you know, in the hood. Was sitting there like, bitch, please, talk like a normal human being. That was fucking annoying as shit. Which is, mind you, absolutely is. I never understood why people felt the need to fucking talk in some nasty slang that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, shit.
You ain't allowed in this area.
Yeah. Let's ignore the fact that I have ever been here. Still, this is going to be a interesting confrontation that's awaiting us on the ramparts. Yeah. Is there a quick button again? Can I? Okay. Fast mode, yeah, hey.
Leave it to me.
Okay. Now then, to go with the basic assumption, he is going to come running up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit here in the background. We will have our fighters, and our better fighters, in the front. Bitch boy in the back because he has a tendency to just die. Actually, you have an AI, right? What is your AI set to do?
What do you need?
Now let's not have everyone too far away.
What do you need?
Because range is really not that big. Bing, bing, bing.
Who's rung the bell and why?
Better not be my ship.
What in the blackest hell? Stop! Stop! That's my ultra fucking ship!
If your ship fucks on right, speaks for her impressive size.
Damn swivers. I'll blast them from the sea. Hey.
Mouths agape, the captain pants to catch his breath. As he watches his ship sail away, his brows descend like a dark storm.
Do I know you?
Growling, he rubs the back of his neck. What would you do? Have you forgotten?
You wouldn't be the first I've pissed off and forgotten.
Well, it happens, I guess.
Well, you do have a forgettable-like face.
I mean, you know, in some circles that is a compliment.
Ah, right. You're that sloop captain what got caught in the storms. I take it you did a number on my crew.
Kinda murdered a few of them.
Figures. I should have stayed to kill you myself. Looks like I'll have to remedy that now.
You really don't know me well, do you? He sneers with crooked teeth and scratches his calloused fingers down the scar on his face. But you notice it as he does. He darts his gaze around, searching for reinforcements. Ones that aren't there.
What you hope to accomplish coming around here?
No one's coming to save you, Benny boy. Sweat trickles down the side of his face. He winces as he wipes it away.
You can fight me if you like, but you won't be leaving this fort alive.
Laugh wildly in his face. What's that actually? It's intimidate.
What, are you frothing mad?
The color leaches from his face, leaving his scar stark against the skin. Slap him in the face, punch him in the gut. I'm all for a good old-fashioned gut punch. The air gushes from his lungs. The captain bends double, teeth gritted, lips bloody.
Fuck you!
Hit him again.
Wait! Wait!
He wraps a hand over his mouth to wipe away the blood, but just ends up smearing it across his chin.
Even I can admit when I'm outgunned.
I like this This is a nice little scene.
Look, I'm not afraid, but I've no death wish.
Well then, why did you attack my ship?
I attack most anyone what comes across my path. You'll never know where treasure lies if you don't look.
Well, in that case, you can't ever, you know when you mess with the wrong people, don't you?
Without a Drake, though, I can't see myself preying on anyone for a time.
So, who's this captain I keep
You're
hearing
only
about?
standing in her stronghold. She's the
Okay.
leader of us all. Us new bloods who chafe at Ferrante's stifling rule.
That's not gonna make you much liked
Our
around here.
commander might be at sea for now, but she'll be back soon enough.
Well then, lunge first road.
Fire and thunder!
Doc calls his features before he regains
We'll be
himself.
fighting to the death now.
We're not going to fight for the death now. You're going to just die. Like plong. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm assuming very much so that Benwith is not just, you know, a light white fighter. Did you not do this?
This ends here.
Conduct unbecoming. Ah. I guess we are somewhat technically speaking done with this quest, aren't we? And we have done it very, 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 very sneakily. You know, that is more realistic of a path than going for
No problem.
the overmurder of everything. I can't really see that working out in our favor, basically.
Be fat and furry,
Excuse me. Me, the literal fucking hell is my nose so itchy today. Now the question is, do we want to go down and out? Kinda want to explore a bit more, but if I go out there, I'm probably going to get into trouble. But we're gonna try anyway. Go and try our hardest.
That's unusual.
It appears to me that some of the guards are missing from the posts. Would be a real shame if somebody were to now run around and plunder all of your stuff while nobody's looking, wouldn't it be? Such a royal shame, indeed. I knew there would be loot here. I knew it. I have not once ever doubted it. There's some people to talk to. Hello.
Come, we've plenty to share. It's too quiet around here without Ben's parties. Don't think I like it.
Well, good thing is nobody asked you. Too good. Okay, so at least I can now move somewhat freely, so I don't have to fear much. It's true, the Ben died choking on his own blood. To be very much fair, yes. Also, we can pretty much assume that he really died choking on his own blood. Mostly because I punched his gut hard enough that he actually, you know...
Think this'll break me? Ha! It won't.
What, precisely? You mean being, you know, on that one?
Me, and I'll make you regret it. One day, surely.
Oh, I do that. Why are you being punished?
Those hagfish. Benweth's crew lashed me up to be,
Mhm.
and I quote, a deterrent to insubordination.
Uh-huh.
It's shark shit. All I did was filch one of their horns and blast it to start along with. I wanted to see her get all worked up.
And with Scrooge's horn blasts for the love.
Oh, sure. But shouldn't you know this, on account of you being a captain?
My fist will be the captain of your face if you question me again. But let's go. She twists against the ropes. Then she gives up. Yeah, I'll cut you loose.
I ain't grateful, but if Ben's crew spots me about, they'll be taking more than my pride next.
And we won't be troubling you anytime soon.
Blimey me. Someone got the best of brutal Benny.
Wasn't that brutal, though,
Come
was he?
drink with me at the court sometime. You'd best believe I'll be celebrating his blessing from the gods.
Basically, since we're on the opposing side anyway, you know, why not make friends? Eastern Courtyard to command. I guess we can potentially move up there now without much trouble. No nut net. Are you just not selling nuts?
Got a spot of blood on you. Actually, never mind. How can I do you, Captain? Right away.
Let's see what you actually have. The bloody links. Flint and tinder. That's probably useful. Ropes and grafting ropes. Pickaxe, lockpicks, all of the good things. Oh no, I can assume why. Probably because he quit the tree has no nuts, is it? As in, you know, in his pants. That makes a lot more sense.
How might I help you out of a bit of money, Squab? Care to join our fun? Or is it swilling information you're chasing?
The pirate looks you over, eyeing the make of you. A sly smile curls his mouth as he tosses a pair of dice to rattle over the cobblestone ground. Not so much as a glance at the setting dice, he calls out the numbers. Perception.
I ain't my captain's keeper, and I know better than to ask what business you've got with Brutal Ben.
None any longer. You haven't heard the news, eh?
You might check the court for him. If he ain't target practicing, he's tickling the harpsichord or taking his swill. 2 out of the 3 can be done there. But if you see him, don't fucking tell him I sent you. Now, before we get rolling, let me tell you the rules. You bet on high if you think when the dice settle, they'll count up to more than 7. You bet on low if you think the count will be less than 7. Both pay double or nothing. Lastly, you can also bet on 7. If the count is exactly 7, then you win 4 times the wager.
Nice.
100 pyres per roll of the dice.
Okay. That's a very good way to lose money. From the upper ramparts, a wooden crane suspends a pallet stacked with heavy black casks over the cobblestone courtyard. The pallet groans, swaying slightly, and its hempen rope creaks from the strain. Throw a dagger. Stealthily, Jody tosses a dagger at the cargo's rope. His bow is hasty and erratic, entirely missing the rope. Okay, let me do it. Stealthily, you aim dagger at the cargo's rope, following 2 warm-up flicks of your wrist. You toss the dagger with every last ounce of your strength. Well. Okay, everybody gets a chance. The pallet plummets toward the ground. The loose cargo tumbles from all sides. The crates and barrels crack loudly on impact, splintering, spinning their goods against the rough cobblestone.
What the?
Oh, sure. I see a neglected dog.
Damn me and Andra's worthless son.
Well, at least on one point I can agree with the pirates. They have a very nice language when it comes to Andra. One particular goddess I'm not too fond of. She has been a bitch. She has been quite a bit of a bitch to us in the past. We shall not forget that, and we shall endeavor to pay her back most handsomely if we get ever the chance. Forsaken cat. I'm picking up cats and dogs and pets in general left, right and center. Basically at this point I'm a fucking animal shelter. Yes, I will be the first. Animal shelter on the sea.
But they're ever so nimble. Swapped and sparkling.
Yes. It's a good goal to have, I'd say. And then we can go to command, because I don't think there's anything going to... going to be here, was what I was about to say. I was somewhat wrong with my assumption. It was more of an assumption, I would say. reduced healing. Yeah, that's not good.
Quick, toss me something else.
Make sure he remembers to suffer. Oop. Like, I'm flanked, I'm disorientated, I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna die. Yes, you will. I hate teleportation things like this. Such a pain in the ass to deal with. Well, I hope that the rest of the fortress has not heard about this and will not just randomly start attacking me now, because that would be kind of annoying, I will admit that much. I mean, if they are stupid enough to actually do that, I will murder every last one of them. To really, you know, teach the pirates a bit of a lesson about, you know, choosing targets wisely, and why it is not a good idea to attack somebody who has more than just the will to attack you back.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
No. I mean, there's a lonesome little pirate lady here. Who is completely ignoring me. Okay. Change my little one is hurt anyway. Yes.
I'm of a mind to rest.
Ahoy. I don't be supposing we could swapped in sparkling, Captain.
Okay, you have now a swollen eye. Minus 10 accuracy. Okay. Combat is getting ever more interesting, I'd say. But hey, at least now we can move somewhat freely here. I guess nobody's going to question us because, well, we basically took care of the only person who had any right to question us.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
I mean, you know, we could potentially blow up a lot of things. We're not going to, mind you. But hey, we could potentially do so. Let us not, though. Let us actually enjoy our little journey. But I guess since we have... I'm probably going to leave through the dungeons anyway, so let's go out in the court and actually go into the... I guess the pub, the inn, whatever, the drink hall, beer hall, if you so desire. Beer hall. Well, yeah, nobody's going to be happy that I killed that asshole, but I am happy, and that is the most important part, isn't it? Also, he was a bit of an asshole to me. You know. Choose poorly, his target. Pay the price, that's pirate life for you. And that's, dear children, why we shall not endeavor to be pirates. Means you die. 9 out of 10 times. And they're not friendly dead. Free stuff? Oh, very nice of you. I also like it how nobody actually cares about us stealing their stuff. That is most pleasant. Red scurry among the discarded barrels. Well, hello, Siren. Yoda's large eyes grow larger as you approach. They narrow to a sharp edge, her hands briefly ball into fists, before finding their way to her hips. With a sharp twist of her head, she flips seaweed green hair over one shoulder. You're trying to look smexy, but your picture looks like you are... it looks like your face has been through, you know, the cheese grinder's loving embrace.
Look who finally washed back up ashore.
The edge of her words matches the sharpness of her teeth. Seraphim winces.
Ahoy there, Siri. Miss me?
Probably as much as that said cheese grinder.
Did I miss you? Oh, like a fish misses water, you gutless bastard. For the first few weeks, anyhow. Till it turned to confusion and worry. Ye said ye'd write every night, didn't ye? Then where were the birds or the boats with your poems and pages?
Come on, it was pretty damn obvious that he's not the kind of guy who would do that.
You saying our pirate's a poet?
Shorty turns wide eyes to Seraphim. Amusement, making the corners of her mouth twitch. Yes, as my one. That is an amusement. A very amusing statement, I should say.
Siri, sweet honey heart. I scribbled you missives day and night. Declarations of passion, sonnets in songs. But on account of me being at sea, I never had the opportunity to post them.
Yeah, dark amusement is a very fitting statement.
I'm certain I should believe every word of that blarney. About as certain as I am that you're a snake-tongued philanderer worth little more than a tug in the rug.
Wow, you actually figured him out in just one. It is good. Very good, even.
I plundered you up a pair of fine, very fine, snakeskin boots. With that tooling you like round the cuffs and all. But the gentleman sprung a leak, and they ended up thoroughly sodden.
I see. Yeah, really trying to get
Tell
up to
her,
it.
Cap.
Let's see. Diplomacy. We don't have much of that. Love. We don't have much of that. I'm staying out of this.
I've never seen someone struggle so much who wasn't dying.
You make a good point there.
I take it your mother had the good sense to learn ye that ye never cross an all unscorned.
Probably yes. As I said, you know, if you can look like that and still be around, I'm supposing you're probably going to be tough.
Ah, balls. We be in for it now.
Ye can't just go showering a lass with wildflowers and filling her head with verse if you're planning to ship out and never see her again.
Yeah, technically speaking, since he returned, I guess to some degree he was about to see you again. No, let's actually see the vision. Let the vision come. Slick, wet fur in the lamplight, kilted palms, perusing her pelt, weaking teeth, biting at the soft edge of the neck, thrusting into hotness, yet tender, hopeful, not that this time will be the one that lasts, that she might forget his sudden shithouse for an evening or two.
Ye've been lucky thus far, you know. I'm of half a mind
That was
to call
creepy.
ye out, and I'm no worse than many with a blade. Least then, perhaps you'll give me a lick of satisfaction.
Whatever you think of reaching for, think again. With half step away from you, Cyrodiil's hands drop to her sides. They curl into smaller, furry pests.
I know you're not worth it, you cockswabby. Yet it's tempting all the same.
Well, let's not escalate this,
I'll be
shall
truly
we?
sorry, lass. Sorrier still than that. I won't go spinning no yarns about being married to the sea or coming home to you someday. I ain't that gentleman, nor never will be neither. Alls I can promise you is that what be broke in me there ain't fixing for. I'll be a right sad fuck. And there ain't nothing to account for it but me.
Well said, indeed.
That I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not forgiving ye a lick now. I won't go seeking for your blood neither.
Nice.
Now, why don't you be telling me what you want so I can be shot of ye for good?
Aye, lass. The captain's got an ask or two about deadline. But first, I need to know. You remember Romaro? Sailed with me on a sorcerer.
Aye, I remember Romaro. You think I've gone wet in the head or something? Your words have always been as flowery for him as they were for me. It weren't so long ago he shipped out, come to think on it.
Well, do you know where he went?
Can't rightly say. Left in a hurry, I think. Or at least he were here one day and gone the next. Not that he ever mixed much with the sods here.
So, where was he staying?
Hard to starboard through the back door there, then straight on to the end of the hall.
I see.
Don't think nobody's claimed his quarters since. Might be worth it to ye to poke around.
Give my thanks, lass. Truly. And many more besides.
Oh, keep it in your pantaloons, you randy swab.
Jesus Christ, I'm happy when I'm got away from you.
Happy to oblige the person hauling this blue bastard away from Fort Deadlight.
Just who's the Marrow person even?
You don't know? That's so, I'm thinking it's not my place to tell you.
Yeah, diplomacy is really not our strength.
On to
Fair
calmer
enough.
waters then. Were there something else you wanted?
Nope. Happy peppy. Just be on my way. This happy shirt is finely crafted, detailed and lavish, but the keys are well worn. Inspect the instrument. Row of wooden keys links to an exposed set of strings. Trapping the keys triggers a small quill to strum each associated string. Yeah, let's not break it with a bomb. I don't see why we would do something so horrible to people. Like, do you wish to live forever and play this instrument? See what's going to happen. Sounds like a right nasty thing to do, I'd say.
Welcome one and welcome all. Buy me a bottle and I'll be your finest loving pal.
Hmm.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
We could potentially blow it up, but we will not blow it up. Hmm. Well, we got our revenge, and I guess for the moment we are reasonably finished with the fort. I mean, as long as a certain pirate lady is not suddenly coming back into, you know, the fort, I think we can safely play around with our equipment a bit and see what happens. Now, starting, of course, at the very, very, very beginning. I do have a bit of a special weapon here, the gladiator sword, which puts me well and truly good. Light armor. I would at least like to have some medium armor. Principe mail armor. I guess we can actually just take a look which one looks better, I suppose. Slash, shock, crush, freeze. I kind of want to have slash protection, honestly. That's probably not a bad idea. Persona of Italic, grants power surge, pursue defenses when engaged, and let's do diplomacy. Mine overseeing plus 10 of area of effect. That's actually something I should probably think about. Frogger. That's not how that works. Ah, looking right fancy, yeah? It's not. Well, I guess that is actually something I can get behind style-wise. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now you have a fine spear, my friend. I could give you the 200, but it's 200. It's not going to work. Not with what I have planned for you. After all, Mr. Tank. Armor-wise, I don't think I have anything. Yeah, all of the light armor in the world. But you do have your special armor. I'm gonna let you keep your special armor on. That's not helpful. Plus 2 stealth is not helpful. That's not helpful. You can get Gorn's Pledge because that's technically speaking a healing spell. Do we have a better distance weapon for you? A little less. We don't. I can give you exceptional light armor. It would be good for your recovery time and more reflex. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it as such for the moment. Area of effect. I kind of think that would probably be well suited to you. Especially to your healing magics, that is. As for you, you have the Keybreaker Scepter. I think there's really not much more we can say for this. You use Rapier. Do I have better Rapier? No. Most definitively not. And it also has the Overseeing effect. Yeah, let's not change that around. Let's actually keep him as is when it comes to that. Some perception ability between your death grants, break is blah blah. Let's actually give you the intellect one. Also the power surge was boost power level for the duration of the fight. Yes. That could be useful. Then with you get the stealth boots. Because you're the only one who actually, you know, can stealth, so I'll grant you that much, you furry thing. Recovery time, armor rating, lift martial manner, reflex. It's obviously meant to be worn by a scoundrel of some sort, so I guess that would be rather fitting for you. What else do we have? The hand mortar, the battle axe, 2 pistols. Do we have better pistols maybe? Exceptional pistol, yes, yes. Do we have even more weapons like this? No, we don't. It's kind of saddening, but it is how it is.
Shopping for barkers or blades? Right away.
Shopping for whatever pleases me, mind you. Okay, let's not oversell. I don't want to keep some of my equipments. You know. Who knows what sort of crew members we meet, and I at least want to give them, you know, a basic set of equipment at the very least. But we should still get a nice amount of money out of this. Yeah, let's just trade it. Now then, we have some monies. Actually, I can go to the port, but there's actually no reason to go to the port, is there? Technically speaking, my ship is not at the port. Because I haven't really docked my ship. Yeah, I actually want to see how the game is handling this, because that could be interesting. Because, you know, it really isn't. It shouldn't be there. We came along with our little skiff. And snaked up. Okay, well, game is handling this rather nicely. Going like, okay, you be going now. Okay, game. If that's how you want to do it. Now I can just... Yeah, now I can just come in peacefully. Okay. Which reminds me that my little Orlan is kind of damaged. He's damaged goods now. We need to put him down. But maybe not that brutally, but it could happen. I do kind of think it's a good time to go on a bit more of an exploration, at least, you know, 1 or 2 lines before we set sail to Nakater. Which sounds interesting. Sounds, I don't know, Asian, I guess, could be. Or, I don't know, Indian or something. At least not, you know, it doesn't sound like home, let's say it like this. I'll make this interesting. Also, we still kind of need to avoid running into most of the ships, because, well, we are using a very small one. After all, comparatively speaking. And I would kind of like to get into a sea combat situation that I can't, you know, deal with immediately. Abandoned village. Search it. Search it. Search it. I do like it. Actually, I think we will have most episodes basically set up like this in a way. Where we go on you know, a bit of a quest spree, where we do some questing and then some sailing. Not at all a bad thing if you ask me. I kind of like that. It gives me a clear-cut purpose and a bit of an idea what is also. It allows me to somewhat guide the time of the episodes, basically. Somewhat. You're sailing past the reef of Shield Sister Davia shouts out, pointing to port. There lists a ship stranded in the middle, perched on a narrow shoal. It tips and rolls with the passing waves. Hanging from its mast is the blue flag, showing an image of a crescent moon sinking beneath the waves. The crew gathers around, murmuring in low, excited voices. Beodil rushes to railing. Captain, that's a gift-bearer ship. No telling what sorts of treasures it's got. Nisi snorts. Gift-bearers carry sentimental junk, worthless stuff. Oh, that's a smuggler's ship. It's a classic disguise. Shijubek spits into the water. And it's a fucking stupid one. Gift-bearers only visit landlocked settlements. That's a trap. What was it about the gift-bearers, Vanisi? Vanisi fixes pensive throne. No offense, Captain, but the servants of honor collect things people want to forget. We know what it is. Swords? Hey there. Shake of the head, there frowns and says nothing. Swords? My sickle cuts through smugglers just as easy as any knife. Easier, maybe. Licking her bottom lip. Show these that is a seemingly stranded vessel. Several sickles quietly. George, love. If you'd remember that some gift bearers operate as smugglers on the side. So it's possible. Ain't a trap, Captain. Should be too smashed to shit for that. Might be too smashed for shit for Savage, too. Prepare a skiff. We'll go over there. You row the skiff above the reefs, the waves tossing it at the bottom of the small boat, occasionally scraping across the jagged structure below. You tie off on a snag of coral next to the wreck. The water is rough, or the hull slick with brine, but you're able to find purchase between the shifting planks. Well, climb up. You pull yourself up, using bent planks and barnacles for holds. You almost reach the main deck, where the wave slams against the ship. You hear a crash from somewhere below as the vessel rocks. Your leg slips out from under you, and your fingers dig into wet lumber. Your grip holds. Once the ship settles, you resume your climb and make it to safety of the deck. The ship is deserted. You don't even find corpses. The ship had a skiff, it's missing too. Search for salvage. You find several crates of supplies and several more of assorted odds and ends. Handkerchiefs, beach jewelry, cracked scrimgeour, a child's doll. Sure, I've got some things. You find several crates of supplies, blah blah. You think back and comments and wonder if this might have been a smuggler's vessel after all. Search. I have fucking 16 perception. But then you notice scuff marks along the deck, as if the box of junk has been moved repeatedly over the same spot. You slide it aside, and find a trapdoor underneath. Within rests a small chest ringing with golden skillings. Among the coins rests a small figurine of an imp, of all things. A laughing imp cameo. Summon 2 brine imps. Below it, you find onto the skiff and row back to your ship. Crew and a bit of experience, and everybody is happy peppy. As it should be. See, I do like this. It's kind of nice. Although I will admit the following, and that's actually, I think, fair criticism. The pirate theme is nice and all, but it kind of gets tiring after a while. I would much prefer to finding something that can replace Seraphin in the long run as a, you know, team member. Otherwise I'm probably gonna get tired of him really, really quickly. As I said, it's kind of like, you know, that whole thing. It's fun for a moment and then it gets tiring because, well, you know, why the fuck are you talking like you? I've only barely heard of the concept of, you know, common language. There's a storm. Do we want to sail through that too? I mean, it kinda gives my crew experience, and I kinda like to sail through it, you know? Time for some pre-experience again. Yes, we have done this again. As for Companions 8, give us the usual morale praying, assign deckhand duties, into the rigging, rope gripping hook, roll, hand out the food, and where's Perpetual going to be? The wind drives rain across the decks. We are holding course. Shield says to Dahlia, make sure my people, you know, don't die, because we have medicine anyway. Do it again, more medicine, enable that name, and we are through the storm. Okay, and we get experience out of that. My crew gets ever better at their job. Which is the only reason why I'm actually sailing through the storms. I mean, otherwise I would just ignore them. Which is a fair option, I'd say. We kinda need to be careful, because that Feargeist thing is one of the more troublesome ships, I think. Good thing is the map actually tells me where, you know, things are. That looks somewhat dangerous of an area. Well, I guess we're gonna sail all the way through here, then we're gonna sail back, and then we're going to set straight for Makatra. Still don't know where to put that in my, where to order that name. But it's someone foreign. Let's say it like this. Mara Trench. Station above your level will be hard to complete at this time. Yes, we should probably save that for another. I do like how the game is actually telling me, but also kind of feels it takes the exploration part a bit shorter, basically. Because if I know it's above my level, I'm not going to just go in there and, you know, risk it. I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm coming back later. Which is fair, mind you. But finding out that an area is above your skill is... it's actually part of the whole fun of exploring things. I mean, you know, fun in quotation marks to some degree because of it can, you know, annoy you somewhat. You're ramming your head against an obstacle that is clearly not meant to be overcome just yet. Oh, Brigade. Let's see what they have to say this time. An argument from the deck pulls your attention away. Oh, is this once again about fish? Yeah, it is about fish. Let's judge the fitness of the fish with... Hey there! No signs of discoloration, open sores, or bloated bellies. The fish appear perfectly healthy. Stow the fish. See? Captain knows. Take it easy on, Captain. There's every chance. Stow it. Captain's word is law. Let's get the fish below. Indeed, my word is law, and my companion said it's absolutely healthy. I trust my companions. If they say it's good, then it's good. There is no discussion here. If the crew wants to mutiny against the decisions, they can try. That's gonna be fun. Gonna be a short mutiny. Just on the account that I'm going to murder them, most brutally. It's a Tao too. I mean, I only have my little sloop, and I don't really want to deal with bigger ships. If I get the chance, even the smallest chance, I will buy the biggest ship imaginable. First and foremost. Basically, the ship and upgrading the ships is like upgrading the castle with the first pillars. Problem though is, this is not the biggest ship you can get your hands on. You can get an actual big ship, which is of course the first thing you should do. Look at that, it's another annoying one. I think what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna finish this turn and we're gonna dock at Port Margé to buy a few more resources, and we're gonna go straight for... well... Nikata, something like this. No, you mongoloid. There's something here. The sea here is vast and smooth as sighing glass, jumping up and down. Little Yuka shouts and points at purport at a pale pillar of luminous Adra rising from beneath the surface of the water. Beardall takes you closer. Much of the stone is encrusted with coral. Visible portions coil above the water in long, looping spirals. Adra normally grows in large pillars, but this formation is almost like 7 tentacles of some terrible sea monster grasping for the sky. Swanisi whistles low. So old. Had to be with you. And we get some moral from this. Even they could do that. That's Undra's slow, steady work. Even at night, Yadra shimmers, glowing from within, casting a ghostly light across the surface of the sea. Indeed, it's hard to tell whether the Yadra's strange contours are shaped by slow wear of the sea or distorted by it. Something about that ambiguity makes the vision all the more extraordinary. The rest of the crew chimes in, debating the wonders, meaning, origin, in low, awed voices. Now we've seen it, let's move on, shall we? Well, there's no way to know where it came from. Enjoy it for whatever it is. Easy nods, while Ild Ingram murmurs a quiet prayer. The remainder of the crew nods and return to their duties. Beardall sails past the Yadra, maintaining a safe distance. Luca and Ild Ingram move to the aft castle, eyes locked on the Teotora marble until it disappears below the horizon. We've seen another thing.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind.
Well, that's great.
The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once.
Is it morning already? Because that sounds a lot like my alarm clock assortment.
You feel a resonance in your core.
Bling,
a bell ringing in
bling.
tune with all the others. Something in you bends, then breaks. And you are borne away on the ringing tide. Just another peal among the many.
That's not the nicest invitation I've ever gotten.
The tide of bells recedes. You lever yourself up onto your knees and realize you have been here before.
Yeah, obviously.
You stand in Bareth's realm.
Where else?
You are alone. And then you are not.
Well, great. All the gods have come once again to piss me off.
An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. bottomless black eyes, a yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Berith, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus.
Nice.
And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near.
I'm just sitting there like, hey, would you please not?
The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Well, at least something.
Watcher.
Hey,
Her
it's me
voice
again.
is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
He's jumping around to that fire, yanking up souls like a giant arrow soul magnet. I can't follow us around if you keep dragging me a soul into the fucking beyond whatever the wimp is. Which is a fucking good point. Also, I have quite a bit of a negative impression of you gods. You know, mostly for being assholes. But it is indeed too early to be sure what he plans. But it is suspicious.
I remind you of our bargain. Time is short, and your soul dangles in the balance.
Yeah, screw you, I'm still going to take my pleasure cruise around the fucking Deathfire archipelago. Fuck you.
Her wan face contorts into what on mortal kith might be called a smile.
Well, nice.
On her, the effect is more akin to a rotting pumpkin caving in upon itself.
That sounds splendidly pleasing to the eye.
Do not give me cause to doubt your commitment, Watcher.
You know, if you could stop pulling me back every bloody fucking 5 seconds, I could probably get some of the shit done.
The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped ancient crone whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire.
So basically, you look ugly as fuck. As everybody else does, apparently.
The goddess Wodica strides
Oh god, that
forward.
bitch again. Fuck you.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Out of Wodica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan.
Oh yeah, that one.
His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars.
The one
Breath
for slaves
whistles
and
through the ragged
rebellion.
hole in his face, where his nose once was.
Mhm.
He does not speak, but stares up at Wodica with naked loathing plain on his ruined face.
He's like, I don't like you, bitch. You get a better know here.
Wodica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
And just because you want that, I don't even...
At the Pallid Knight from the corners of her eyes.
You know, if you could stop bickering in front of me like the idiots you are, and then, you know, show some unity, I might actually take you seriously. But I don't. I mean, look at this. This is fucking... it showcases very much why the gods are just not actually real gods.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Yeah, not that again, please. I had some trouble navigating it. Given your relationship with the moon, I don't want to approve of that plan. No. Or like, I'm pretty sure we need that.
A voice echoes from the shape nearest Berith.
The lava is too large to be moved and Kaltha too quick to be caught. Even for a god of Wodica's strength and apparent lunacy.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash.
Hey, Magran. How have you been lately? Have you heard of a priest boy, going by the name of Durance? He's very much seeking out for a way to get to you. And, you know, he's probably going to punch you in the face. Multiple times, with a fucking god hammer.
The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword.
Yeah, could you people maybe stop having giant weapons that kind of... yes.
Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world.
Well, that is easy, then just do something. See, I just solved all of your problems.
I
And
acted
I could...
in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Sure, great idea. Can I go now?
The Pallid Knight tilts her head to the side and gives you the long-suffering, narrow-eyed look of a parent dealing with a particularly disappointing child.
Oh, please, you're not my parents and I don't care if I disappoint you. I actually have things to do. You might be sitting here in the fucking universe and discussing, humans, masturbatory fetishes or something. Sure, that's all up to you. You have all the time in the world. I am immortal. I have things to do.
No.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Hi, Leah, I suppose.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
See, and this is where nothing gets done. The gods waste time, and even more time. The world is ending at some point, you know?
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
Well, maybe just fucking tell him that.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide.
Well, but what if he intends to betray you? That's actually a very good question. I don't think he's much pleased with you.
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot.
I don't think he's going to be that stupid.
Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wetica suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Sounds nasty.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who killed Lord Harren, the man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
That was actually not very curious. He was a very, very bad man who did very horrible things to his niece, and I murdered him for it. It's not hard to understand.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless
In case you've forgotten, that was that small village.
Then turns to Helia.
And we had some, we looked for it, we found her in the cult, we murdered the cult, and we found out that she had good reason to run away from home. Very good reasons.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
I'm pretty sure she didn't thought that far.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Let's see where this is going
Pallid
then.
Knight gestures for silence.
Well, just as me.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time.
And of course none of you are actually going to do that, because, well... Am I really expecting the gods to do anything? Oh, right. Do excuse me, you aren't really gods, you're just very old beings that found a way to get very powerful.
Both stand in his favor.
Magran grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
And then why don't you just go down and ask him nicely? Like, hey, here's us. What's your planning?
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake.
Ah, well, of course. Why make it, easy when you can make it a complicated million-step journey?
Magran stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Oh, look, the child doesn't get what it wants. Now it's getting annoyed.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
All of his children? I mean, he actually was, active. A sec.
The Pallid Knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Magran's direction.
Magran speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
That nonsense again. At least fucking tell me stuff.
Wotica waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Yes, and I am apparently your best chance to do something about it, and you left me in the dark. That's
Her voice
great.
takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys, other than decisive, final action.
I guess I'm just going to be
We
silent
will
about
act
this.
when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
Pallid Knight steps away from the half circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height.
Oh, trying to be impressive, eh?
The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
Yeah, I was about to do that until you fucking interrupted me.
The black of the pallid night's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
That would be fucking scary, because a giant fucking face is in front of me with a mouse that can probably just suck me in like... Gone.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
Hey, you do know that I only do this because I must.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time.
Yes, because I quite literally don't have a choice, and that is all and the only reason why I'm actually helping you.
Helpless to resist, you tumble into her impossible eyes.
Okay, can I at least draw my sword and poke her in the eye, please?
You fall wildly, endlessly, unable to find your bearings or slow your spin.
Well, apparently not.
And in the distance, above, no, behind you, comes an insistent ringing.
Well, time to wake up again.
Angle yourself toward it, searching for the sound. A small silver bell appears just inches from your fingertips. You reach for it, straining to still its interminable ringing. The moment you touch it, your soul slams into your body with all the force of a fall from the top of the sky. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin, alone.
That sort of experience is going to murder me at some point. It's also probably not going to feel well. Now then, could you stop calling me back all the time, gods? You ungrateful sons of bitches.
Leave it to me.
My lady, what do you require?
Why?
I was the steward of your keep at Cad Nua, my lady. Long before your time, I
Yeah,
had my
I
soul
know.
bound to a throne of Ardraban. And for nearly 200 years, I felt Cad Nua and the comings and goings within it like an extension of myself. It is a strange connection to lose.
Yeah, I think so.
Still, it would be unseemly for me to complain of loss to you, my lady.
So how did I get you in the first place?
With Cad Nua in ruins, there was little purpose in waxing sentimental over the rubble. I was able to salvage enough of your treasure and wealth to afford the purchase of the Defiant and the hire of a small crew.
Which means you saved basically nothing, because I had, like, millions. No.
Unfortunately, that consumed the remainder of your once considerable assets. Under the circumstances, I hoped you would not object.
I object to the fact that most of my treasure is probably still fucking buried there. What shall I do next?
I suggest we proceed to Nekataka, my lady. It is the largest city in Deadfire, and we shall be better able to get our bearings there.
I see. Fare thee well.
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just
Yeah.
think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see.
Yeah, I'm actually trying.
This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple.
Cutie wraps her sickle against her side. She studies the boat's layout, satisfied by whatever she sees. She tilts her head to you with a small smile.
Tell me what's on your mind?
So, how are you feeling? Any nightmares
They're
recently?
there in my head when I sleep.
That's how dreams usually work.
And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul. You need me, I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
Most definitive, because you can't run away. We're on a fucking ship. Got you there, dude. Now then.
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others.
We did.
I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative.
Simply explaining your involvement with the Litten Key. Absolutely. If you say so.
Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity.
So, what exactly were you doing out there?
After we parted, I set out to destroy the Leaden Key.
I know. You said so.
It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it.
A noble goal.
So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret, trying to undo them.
So how has that been going?
The task has been more difficult than I anticipated.
How so?
I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make, or the burden of living with them.
So you realized that it would require sacrifice.
It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours.
Easy, sure. I let you right into the prison of the gods. What do you mean?
After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations.
Maybe he had an address book. But...
Perhaps this would be easier with an example.
Yes, go ahead.
I went to a village in Old Valia. A run-down backwater of a place.
Yeah, like the million others of them.
Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting.
Oh, great.
A gruesome, pointless tradition. At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt.
So, what did you do?
The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos. He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too.
That's idiotic and short-sighted. That's not how that works.
So I arranged for him to have an accident.
And then...
The old man died, and the villagers were terrified.
Yeah, kinda expected that.
They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith.
That was so absolutely obviously going to happen.
So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little. Instead of a handful dying each year, a few perished every week.
And now you feel responsible. Is that it?
I had to do something, didn't I? I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better.
Learning from mistakes like this is actually a very good start because, yes, precisely, you can't know the first time. You can know the second time. So, learn.
I suppose so. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about.
And you still haven't told me what the Animancers have to do with any of this.
Ah, that. I'm looking for an old Leaden Key sect. I've found several references, but I want to be sure. Please, let me go over my notes again. Then I promise I'll tell you everything.
Okay. So you have something going on,
you
eh?
have something on your mind.
So, I'd like your thoughts on my search for yours.
One would hardly imagine that a colossus made of glowing Ardra could be so hard to find.
Yeah, but the ocean is far and wide, you know?
Then I suppose the gods wouldn't have chosen you if the task were easy.
Well, the gods are assholes. As usual. Tell me something new. What do you know about the Valiant Trading Company?
Well, they seem largely competent. I would feel better about that were they not run by profiteers and animancers.
Yeah, but companies usually need profiteers.
Well, Governor Clario seemed honest and well-intentioned. So one wonders why he was stationed at such an out-of-the-way post.
Probably because he was honest and well-intentioned and not focusing clearly set on, you know, money. So, any thoughts on the Principe?
I'd heard Deadfire had a pirate problem, but I had no idea how large it was. Or how fashionable. Still, the only thing more dangerous than a unified pirate nation is one at war with itself. I worry about who will be caught in their crossfire.
Everybody and their mother. That's the whole point. Pirates are not going to be just sitting there being nice like, yes, let me invite you over for tea and we can discuss our differences in a, you know, a well and truly peaceful manner. Of course not. So, do you ever make it back to Ediera?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Nice.
I saw my mother for the first time in years.
Even nicer. Who was your mother?
She was well. She'd been living with her Thane for quite some time. I don't think she'd been to see my father since I left. I used to blame her for her long absences, for not intervening directly with my father.
Well, you know, we kind of went over it. So what changed with your mother?
I realized that she was torn between two demanding roles, and two demanding men. I used to resent her for failing to protect me. But I understand now that her absence is what allowed me to grow.
See, you're almost growing up there, isn't that nice?
Intentionally or not, she gave me the space I needed to learn a degree of independence.
I'm happy for you. You're growing into a nice adult.
Thank you. It felt good to resolve that much.
Well, did you see your father?
It's one thing to forgive my mother for her absence. Quite another to excuse him.
Well, all in all, it does sound like a good trip.
It was.
So, how are you holding up?
It's been a while since I've been able to speak candidly with anyone, especially about the leaden key. It's unexpectedly liberating.
I believe so. Well, that is all.
What's gnawing you?
Not much.
I must...
Was he about to tell me something? That was just good setting sail. Game. Okay, read. Watcher, I find myself in the need of someone with your particular brand of talents. Transaction runs super currently, I appreciate blah blah. If you're interested, please convene with me in the match. It's a long way. Why are we actually so far up? Ducts of the starboard bow of your ship and jagged spurs and spits rise from the waves in any distance. Raised voices carry from the helm. Image gestures toward the broken water. We can cut days from our journeys through here. Beardor's clenching the wheel with white-knuckled determination. Don't care if it would fill our hold with rum. We're not sailing through a reef. You know, the only one relaxes. Captain, help me talk sense into Aimer. Hey Luca, do we have chance to get us through the reef? They're Apache and they'll do. Assuming Beardor can get us through. So what is the Teotara marvel? It's a grand sight. Ancient mystery, I haven't seen it myself. Beardor crawled with claim to have seen it. So it brought him 10 years of good health and favorable winds. Even if the marvel is closed, there's no guarantee we'll see it if we're going through this reef. Jitback, what's the condition of a hull? I can go to repair, Captain. I wouldn't sail through a reef myself, but if there's a good time to try, this is it. Take us through the reef. A dead coral juts from the surface, rasping above like the legs of a spider. The wind whistles that passes across the jagged structure. Below the water, schools of fish flash among the brilliant reefs. Beardor attempts to guide the ship through the reef, but with a shudder that rattles your bones. The vessel scrapes against the reef. Sound of tearing wood echoes across the deck. And hands scatter, descending into the hold to locate and repair any damage before it spoils the stores. Right. The variegated shallows give way to blue depths. An enormous sinkhole opens around you, yawning wide enough to swallow a fleet. Beardor sighs with relief. His Famer searches the horizon for any sign of a mystical marvel. Defiant sails on. Well, that's good that they actually learn things. Because that means we have now opened up another way. Now then, let's be careful because there's still a very angry ship sitting around here. Wait a second, who are you? Scuttler. If you're not out to attack me, I'm actually more than willing to just fucking ignore ya. That's the Banian Trading Company. Voyager. Dooby dooby doop doop doop. Medical soup please. Medical soup please supreme. And put a crew. What you are, but if you hold enemies of me, you shall learn that I will gladly murder them for the XP they have. Yes, sir. Oh shit, I see a dragon. Okay, Curacao is apparently a dragon.
I got it. What do you need?
Storm! Boost your power levels. Do we have the blessing? Ouch! You asshole-ish creature! Why are you not doing it? Heck's sake. Okay, we were a bit too slow to save Elof, and still think we're going to take an S-load of damage from this. It is hurt. We went to the healing area. Why are you not?
After him.
Okay. Do I actually have to put your AI on active for you to actually do shit? Is that it?
He's no good to me.
He's bloodied. That's a good sign. I'm shaken, apparently. Near death. We're getting there. Are you dead? You are dead. Okay, remember once again, dragons and their kin are pain in the ass to deal with. Also, there's a sigil of darkness. I don't know what you're doing, but it's probably not good. Yeah, it's not allowed that you sit just there. Might be annoying.
Sure thing.
I do remember there's one particular map, one of these sand maps like this, where you can get quite nastily stuck actually. I remember that much. Yeah, from my own, you know, personal painful experience with that particular map. A whining gunpowder scented letter. Oh, you had a little run-in with Ben. Then you dragged it to my doorstep. You could have wiped your feet before you stomped in. But I digress. I know what you did. I know who you are. And under my unfortunately blockheaded second in command, I recognize a threat when it smacks me upside the head. So, this is me, Captain Eldis, commander of the goddamn New Blood Principe, leader of the second largest fleet of pirates in the god's fucking Deadfire, inviting you, a terrifyingly powerful and strange watcher, to come and meet with me under the strictest parley at Fort Deadlight. Which is to say, I promise not to gut you when you arrive for dinner and drinks. I would very much like to see you try, bitch. Looking forward to having a little hard-side chat. I'd like to offer you a partnership of the most glorious and glorious variety. I scratch your back, and you got my enemies from hip to jaw. We'll laugh at the deaths over a bottle of finest rum. Oh, when you come, bring some candied nuts. Good news, the dearest friend. Eldis, P.S. This is not a trap. I don't even care if it's a trap, but honestly, my mercenary soul sings rather high on the opportunity to get some good old-fashioned deals. For the monies. So I'm not really against that, mind you. So much things to do, so much things to consider, so much of everything. Well, I guess it's going to be another long while until we actually see that most glorious of places. Okay, so let's actually work this out. I'm going to use this as a bit of a guidance. Basically, the game is telling you which, you know, quest is higher level than you and which is not. So the only one we really have is the Veins of Error, which means reach the city of Nektorka. We're going to try to use the difficulty as a bit of a guiding thing for us. So my idea goes. On one hand, because that is going to make it easier for me to, of course, play. I mean, obviously, you know, following the advice of the difficulty is going to make that. Search the location, keep searching, steal all of this stuff. And on the other side, that is also going to guide our story in a hopefully sensible way. As you travel northwest, you discover a broad channel separating you from the flat expanse of a sandy islet. Wooden bridge spans the waterway, easily wide enough to accommodate a cart and horse. The crowd throngs the bridge, an eclectic menagerie of clean-coated valiants, armoire and bright and colorful robes. Even out Orlan, down the hill by the water's edge, a small cluster of armoire have gathered. Approach the armoire. From the shore you see the channel's current seems significantly stronger than it had from afar, perhaps fed by recent storms. The Wana gather there, garbed in thin robes, and the else watch as you approach. One steps forward, gown in far brighter colors than those around her. She cants her head to the side. You look bedraggled, stranger, as if the sea spat you upon our shore. What for you come here? To watch? What's this all about? The arc of her hand describes first the swimmers, then the waters, then the islet on the other side. They challenge the Osa channel. The rains fell, the waters run swift. They must swim swifter yet. For each who finishes, there is honor. The one who wins, there's more. Examine the competitioners. Let's use my unbelievable perception. The largest of them, a bald woman, is all muscle. She's menacing in a fight. In the water, the bulk might slow her down. One of them, a man with tightly curled blonde hair, combines lean muscle with a compact frame. As he stretches, he watches the water as if it were an old friend. He hoped that third, a gangly teen, should even be here. A light wind might carry him away. Who stands the best of winning? She chuckles, a hand flat upon her stomach. The one Ngati favors shows the tide. You don't miss your glance toward the very blonde armoire. I'd like to join the race. Sort of together through a chuckle. The woman merely smiles, bowing her head slightly. Challenging Osa is it always done by Omura to prove strength and stamina in the water. I stay afraid it might be too much for another kif. History. I thought the owner would treasure your welcoming people. She bows her head. Then what welcome would we provide if we fed our guests unknowing to Ngati? When guest returns to yours, she bears a small smile. But you're not unknowing, I say. She nods and motions you towards the channel. Then go join the others at the water's edge. Leave your clothes upon the rocks, and they will warm you after. It's like, I have to get naked for this? Yeah. What is my character thinking? Like, yes, I'm going to swim in my full plate armor. Go to the water and strip down. You shrunk off your bright rusted clothes and lay your belongings on the rocks. My watcher, sure well, it's good luck. Red-faced, Shodi clears her throat behind her fist. She doesn't break her stare. Could you stop staring at me, woman? I mean, I'm a woman too, so it's not really much of... Yeah, that's not... The spring off the stone and crash into the cool, crisp salt water with the other swimmers. You kick against the powerful current, expertly reaching one hand after the other to pull yourself through the water. Parting it like a knife, the others fall behind. One of the Aruna, you notice, struggles to remain in the pack. No, he's struggling just to stay above water, his desperate grasp carried down the channel. Keep swimming for the goal. You swim on, noticing the muscular built woman break away to head back for the struggling swimmer. The goal looms closer. A final burst of muscle-straining speed. You push well ahead, crossing the goal several strokes ahead of the closest competition. Panting and itching, you put yourself onto the shore, walk back towards the bridge to collect your belongings. The people on the bridge above cheer and applaud. The master of ceremony smiles warmly at you. Ngati favors you. She will expect much in return. She presses a small object into your hands. And for you, in honor of your victory. Ring of unshackling. Diddle-dum-dum. The crowd on the bridge sins, and the commotion dies down. Your journey continues. Fucking competition. Of course I'm not going to swim back and help that guy. Let's buy the cheap ones. Can I actually get over there? Okay, I can apparently. It didn't look like it, but I can. Okay. Let us move back to the shore. And... well, there's not really that much more. We're gonna finish this. Then I say we sail back to Port Margay to resupply. We do have most of the things. And I do kind of like to have, you know, all of the things. At max, also I would like to get more cannons. I think I'm missing one cannon on one side. I kind of want to set it up in a bit of a long-range, short-range variant. Basically, short-range cannon fire is probably going to do a lot more damage. So there's that to consider. That looks dangerous. Seriously dangerous with 6 skulls. Let us not. But for the moment, I would just be happy to have cannons, you know, on all sides, because then I can just throw around to make use of that, basically. Okay, so there's a storm on the way. That seems fitting to deal with. Ooh, make me wonder how long it will take to actually reach that city of oh so great wonders. And okay, we've been through this a few times already. Let's do it again. Assign crew duties, hand out the last of the food, bind yourself, everyone into the rigging, companionate, German. We're prepared. So, give them some medicine so that they don't die. All hands to post. Heal them again. Yes, 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 yes. Not even a fucking problem. No locations. Port Marais. This is rather helpful because then I can just set sail and be like, ah yes, peace and quiet, and I don't have shit to do about it. I think I should have at least enough money to, you know, buy myself a thing. And I'm running out of drinks though. So yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of missing a port cannon down here. We have the day wooden hognose, another day wooden hognose. 200 to 500 meters. So technically speaking, the ones, the Iron Sandra have more range. 500 meters, yeah. And more damage, 6 to 9. An unaffiliated trade ship. A sloop. We could probably murder them. Yeah, how does it look? Repair supplies. We can probably use those. Medical supplies. 69. Nice. Funny number. Give me some, you know what? Just give me some 500 water or so. Okay, maybe a bit much. Iron Sandra, yeah, I need one of those. Hmm. 5 meter combat speed, minus time, sail health, plus 5 triple speed, yeah. Okay, now we can afford it. Okay, first let's equip more water. Do we have anything else in large degrees? I mean, we do have a nice lot of food at this point, which is probably not a bad thing. Some fresh fruit. I have the Watcher of Diewood. Why would I unequip my personal flag and, you know, use any of those nonsensical things? Because apparently I'm a 4-star person. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's good. Now let's see here. You are a level 2 surgeon. Is my surgeon better than you? Yeah, you're both level 2. And if some of you levels up, that's probably good. You're level 3 deckhand. Oh, let's see, what do we have here? We have 2 bots, don't we? Yes, yes, we have. Let's ignore that. Or rather, let me take care of that. Boop. Boop. But yes, so far, so good. So truly nice and dandy, I'd say. I've done rather well. For ourselves. Why are you ordered so strangely? Even I don't understand why I feel the need to be ordered like this, but I have decided that that is the way it's supposed to be, apparently. He's credited the only one who actually has some something better going on. Equipment-wise. Resolve. I mean, everybody's rather nicely equipped for the moment. Ring of Solitary Wanderer. Grins Lone Wolf. Well, there are no additional ways to become exceptionally resilient. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Sorry, Ring. And Suppress Affliction. Civil settlement conditions. Never thought that to be that much useful, but I guess that's something I could probably give Ideal. I'm sure he actually can do something in case he gets, you know, into hot water. We have another fine pistol. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just going to equip him with it. Now then. Yeah, that's not reasonable. That we can probably do. So the idea is we're going to do the Veins of Error, the main quest, so that we can get all the way up there, so we can get something going on. Something. Doesn't really matter much, but just something. Something new that will help us gain more XP, so we can get stronger. And probably once we are finished with a part of that, we are probably going to be able to do at least the Gods and Services to quest. I hope. But there's that. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good plan so far. I will actually hope that the difficulty setting is also a bit of an indicator for as to how, you know, how that goes. If I new to this game. That's not how it's supposed to be. Game really doesn't like to do this, eh? But yeah, I think actually for the moment this is a pretty good point to cut it off. I have done pretty damn well. I have achieved once more. Honestly, I don't really want to rush through this game, to put it mildly. I want to enjoy my journey, as I did the last one, and honestly, if it means it takes an episode longer, yeah, that's not really a problem, I'd say. Quite the aside. Oh. Says it right? Excuse me. I will have to bid you adieu. This has been a rather long and arduous week, so I do feel a bit more tired than I usually do. And of course tomorrow will be another work day. I love working so much. It's... I don't know. Normally I'm actually not that much against it, but just for the moment, you know, I am just kinda a bit more tired than what I usually am. But this could probably going to get better as soon as things normalize, but Might find myself being burdened with that much extra work until the end of the year. Well, that's how it looks like, at least. Well, no reason to, you know, complain about it overly much. I mean, you know, the old man didn't really decide to, you know, quite literally damage his back that horribly. I'm pretty sure it's not really that fun for him either, so, you know, complaining is kind of a bit of a shallow move in this case, I guess. But still, you know, keep that between us, eh? But yeah. As for tomorrow, we actually find ourselves with a bit of a special situation, because we have finished Drakengard most brutally and most nicely, and I will not look back on that particular last boss fight. Just, you know, having to rewatch that was reminding me of the horrors of that particular incident. Excuse me. But yeah. So the idea is that we shall endeavor to do some very enjoyable things tomorrow. I yet have no idea how to actually do this. I'm kind of thinking of making it a bit of a mixed bag Saturday in the future. So basically going between things like playing Breath of Fire, playing Golden Sun, the second one, stuff like that, and maybe then think about, you know, something a bit deeper, a bit more long-lasting. I have yet to find, I mean, there are so many choices, that's the problem actually. But for the moment I kind of choose, you know, the more action-y variants, because classical JRPGs take a lot of time, and in some cases a lot of grinding. Now, it can either be done by I let you see it all, which means we include the grind, which means, you know, streams consisting of hours upon hours of just grinding, in some cases. I'm pretty sure that is going to get very boring very fast. Mostly because I'm also, you know, probably going to lose concentration quite often, which is going to be a big negative effect on it. Or, otherwise, I try to do the grinding part on my own, which also kind of, you know, it kind of beats the point then. Games that are probably better suited to it. We could, for example, play, take for example Final Fantasy VIII. Many ways you can play this, mostly because of how the systems are set up, but if you ignore most parts, so to speak, you could ignore most of the card game part, you can ignore probably. You can just level normally. You need to kind of use the draw system, because otherwise your characters are going to be fucked, but apart from that, you can play the game without really leveling up. But something so specialized is not really something you should do. I would just, you know, do some normal leveling up stuff, and the only real grind is probably for the upgrade parts for the weapons. Kinda. I could probably do it. It's actually not a bad game, and honestly it's probably the Final Fantasy I'm mostly fond of, because, well, I actually played it before I played Final Fantasy VII. It's not to say that Final Fantasy VII is a bad game, it's just that it's not as dear to me personally as Final Fantasy VIII is. But that would also be a very long-running project. Who knows? I would very much enjoy it if Dia Yokotaro would have just, you know, instead of getting involved with a fucking mobile game, had made a, you know, another Nier game, for example. That would be most pleasant, or, you know, working on a fucking remaster of the old Drakengard games. Especially the first one, because that would be most pleasant indeed. But no, nothing on the horizon just yet. But yeah, let's just say I'm going to find one way or another to spend a nice and entertaining Saturday. In one way or another, that is. Well, with that out of the way, I think it's actually getting quite late, and I do need to do a full day of work tomorrow. Because of course, you know, having more than just one day of weekend is of course heresy, and shall not be ever applied to me. With that final heresy out of the way, I shall bid you adieu once more. Have a good one and all of that, and yeah. Feel free to drop by again. I see the only ones I can easily name are two bots, and I'm not going to bother with those. Can't really now, but I mean, sure. Let the bots pat themselves on the back too for being, you know, there, if they so desire. Everybody else was actually, you know, a bit more of a person and less of a machine. Do feel free to pat yourself once again on the back. Very important to feel appreciated, because you are. It's always nice. And yeah, we shall see each other again tomorrow. As I said, I'm still not completely sure what we're going to play tomorrow, but it's going to be something. It's going to be entertaining, one way or another. With that most gratuitous idea in our heads, we shall now say bye-bye. Until the next time.